Brian, I was doing a lecture in Birmingham the other week.
Yeah.
And this student came up at the end of the lecture, and she was quite serious, and she was pallid, and her eyes were rather starey.
Oh my God, what's coming?
And she said to me, "You've made this new edition of person-centred counselling in action, but you can't revise the Bible."
Oh, that's an extraordinary remark.
It's quite amazing. When we did the second edition, things had changed, but not markedly, and so our revision was minimal.
Yes.
This time, so much has happened in the last 10 years. Maybe because it's quite a long time since Carl Rogers' death now.
Yes.
So many other people are
Sure.
really taking off. The work
Yes.
of Margaret Warner, for instance, we've included now her work on difficult process,
Yes.
which
Yes.
is absolutely key in terms of a new way of conceiving and describing psychopathology.
Yes.
Right. Because there's so much new theory, for instance, in the book. Our work on revising Carl's theory, the stuff on configurations, relational depth, which
Yes.
has become very, very interesting, attractive. A lot of researchers, young researchers,
Yes.
researching that.
Well, I think you'll agree, Dave, that amongst the many reasons why we decided that this third edition was really necessary was the fact that we wanted to stress the sheer humanity of this activity which we call counselling. That this is a meeting of two human beings, hopefully two human beings who are meeting in depth. And we saw that really very much as a kind of counter voice to much that's been going on in the world of counselling and psychotherapy in recent years.
Now and again, people who have been familiar with Rogers' theory are a little bit kind of ambivalent about our revising it, so to speak. But I sometimes I'm able to tell them an absolutely true anecdote about Rogers, because Rogers would have loved this. He would have loved people revising his theory and challenging him. He would have contested it, perhaps, but he would have loved it. When I was working there as a young psychologist, I was one of what he called the young ones.
Well, you were young, Dave.
26, 27.
Yeah.
And he got annoyed with us one time, I remember, because he said we weren't critical enough. So I delivered this very critical paper, and he loved it every minute of it. He was rubbing his hands, he was smiling, he was guffawing, and other people were looking at him quite surprised, because I was being very critical. And of course, I mean, he contested bits, but he liked criticism. He liked that. He thought that's what science was all about.
Yes. I like that anecdote for a number of reasons. First of all, because it demonstrates how much Carl Rogers himself was always open to new developments.
Yeah.
How he actually really relished that kind of exploration and the possibility of new perspectives and new ideas.
So, on that basis, it's okay to revise the Bible.
Absolutely. Not only okay, but absolutely crucial to revise it.